What's up guys, James here, and a little video on everyday carry. Yeah, for most people who are into their photography, you obviously have your main camera or main cameras you shoot with, but there's some situations where you probably would benefit from a small camera, something you can carry around most of the time, something you can take with you on family outings where photography is perhaps not the main agenda. I have numerous cameras, and in my work bag, because it's work and I do some media for work, I keep a G9 in my bag. And as you can see, it's not a small camera. In fact, it's a really nice size camera, nice good grip. But I do media in work, so it does come in handy to keep this camera on me on all times, at all times is the right phrase. And I also keep a 14 to 140 in the bag because you just never know. And this is a good versatile all-round lens. And I'll often take a prime lens with me. So this is the Olympus 17mm f1.8. Sometimes I'll take a 30mm f2.8 macro. Setting that's quite bright because you never know. Again, you might need something a bit bright, and these focal lens will cover pretty much anything I need in work. Now, I do obviously go out with a family and days out, or even like small trips away, and I do like to take trips into town to do a bit of street photography. And in the daytime, in the nighttime, I'll take a bigger body, chuck a 85mm on, or a 56mm for the G9, and I'll a bit of a bigger body and lens setup, because in the nighttime I'm not feeling so discreet as it's nighttime, and you blend in a bit more to the background. So yeah, I'll take a bigger body. But for the day, in the daytime, I find it best to be a little bit inconspicuous. So I'll take this, which is my GX7, and I've just got the 12 to 32 lens, which is really nice. It's a really nice lens. It's very small. It's a pancake zoom, and the quality of this lens for the kit lens is really nice. And of course, it looks really cool on the GX7 as well, with the black and silver colors there. Really capable camera, 60 megapixels. It's got a little bit of image stabilization in the camera. Yeah, very, very nice. But I was looking for something even smaller, and I wanted something I can just throw in my going out bag. So quite often I'll shoot my son's rugby game on the weekend, and then I'll pick a day in the week and I'll go out for a long walk. I'll find a coffee shop, usual yuppie twat with a MacBook Pro in a coffee shop. I like it. I like my coffee, and I'll take the laptop and I'll go to a coffee shop and I'll edit the pictures, and I'll just get out for the morning and what have you. But sometimes I like to take, or I'll be on my walk and I'll see things which I want to take pictures of. Now, yeah, I could take the GX7. It's not a huge camera with the 12 to 32. It's not a big camera, but I want this camera to kind of live in my bag, and this is the bag I take. And in all fairness, it's quite heavy because I've got a MacBook Pro in there, and I've got drives, a notepad, a bloody little bag thing for cables and God knows what, because you never know. So I want something that's not going to add too much weight to the bag. So I've been looking around, and I did have a Sony NPW30, I think it was, and that was all right, but the images were pretty shocking. Didn't shoot RAW, only JPEG, and it just looked very digital. And I know you're not spoiled for choice with compact cameras unless you're going to spend hundreds, and that's something I wanted to avoid, was to spend hundreds of pounds on a compact camera. So I want something that was small, something with a built-in lens. I didn't want to think about lenses. I just wanted to, again, just throw it in my bag. And I wanted something that could shoot RAW. I think I just said that. So RAW, small, already has a lens built in, compact camera kind of style. And I stumbled across the LX. Well, I didn't stumble across. I've always known about the LX. So I've always liked the LX 100 series cameras, and they look pretty cool. But you know, effectively, you know, I've got a kind of LX 100 in the GX7 with a 12-32. And I didn't want something too big, and I didn't want something too expensive. So I went on eBay and I found this. So an LX2, and it is absolutely tiny compared to the GX7. You can see the size difference there. Definitely in the depth and the width. You can see the camera's size there, weighs considerably less than the GX7. It has the built-in lens. You can see there, it doesn't really come out that much. Yeah, and it just fits. It just fits in my bag. I could go out for a walk without the bag and just put it in my pocket, and it's no drama, and it's not heavy, it's not annoying. Really nice little camera. Shoots 10 megapixel stills, which is fine for social media and family stuff. It's quite an old camera, and the menu system is quite simplistic, but a little bit fiddly. For example, I was trying to format the SD card on the LX2, and I couldn't find how to do it. I eventually stumbled across you need to change the mode to playback mode, and then you can go in and format the SD card, or at least that's the way I found out to do it. So it's not completely intuitive, the menu system. It's not a touch screen on the back, and it doesn't flip out or anything like that. It's just fixed, and the quality of the screen is pretty low quality. So on sunny days like today, it can be a bit tricky to see the back of the screen. There's no EVF, but you can control the aspect ratio on the bottom there. You can see you can change from 4:3 to 3:2 to 16:9. If you go to 4:3 and 3:2, that does crop in. So I think it crops into like 7 or 8 megapixels, something like that. So you are losing megapixels if you change the aspect ratio. The lens is nice. It's a Leica lens, and the entire body is different, but the internals and the lens it's the same as the Leica Deluxe 3. So that should tell you a lot about the image quality you're going to get from this camera, and I really like the images coming out of this camera, particularly if you're shooting RAW. I don't shoot JPEG with this because I find the JPEGs are very soft, and you can't do anything with them. So I just stick with the RAWs with this camera, and it has the CCD sensor. So the old sensor, everybody raves about the old sensor. I can see why. It does have a nice quality. I think that the newer sensors are far more advanced, and I think they do a lot of computational stuff with the image to kind of sharpen it up and stuff. And I kind of like the fact that this older sensor, I may be completely wrong with this, mind, but this is just my very non-technical understanding about sensors. But I believe that the older sensors, they don't try and sharpen it too much, and they don't, it doesn't look digital. It has a bit of an analog look, particularly with highlights and the roll off. It's very natural, very organic, and the images are not sharp. They're rich, if that makes sense. The texture wise and stuff, they look a lot better. So the images are beautiful, particularly the RAWs, and as long as you're mindful of what you got here, and this is not a new camera, it's quite an old camera, so the ISO capabilities are not very good. 800, it's probably too much, so I stick to 400. This is mainly daytime shooting. I don't go out in the night with it. That's just, it wouldn't be able to handle it. But yeah, so the Lumix LX2, really good everyday carry camera if you're thinking about getting one. I managed to get this for 50 quid. The flash doesn't work on it, mind, and there's a bit of a mark on the front of the element, so I got a bit of discount. But for what I want to use it for, it's perfect. It's ample. So here's some stills of the LX2. Hope you like it. Any questions, ask down below. Yeah, going to do some more POVs soon. Oh, just getting the time to get up, to be honest. More with the S5 II with the 35mm f2. So yeah, we'll do some late night shoot. I want to get some rainy, moody POVs going. So yeah, look forward to doing that. But yeah, so thanks for your subs. And yeah, thanks for watching and goodbye. Nice. Ooh la la! Okay.